My husband claimed he was off social media to focus on his mental health. I believed him. Until my friend sent me a TikTok of a man dancing shirtless at a club with a woman who looked just like his coworker. The caption? Girls trip, but he insisted on joining. I made a burner account, followed him, watched every post. Then I showed up at the airport with divorce papers instead of flowers. He asked, "How did you know?" I just said, "You went viral." I'm 32, live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and up until a few months ago, I was married to a man named Jason. Jason and I had been together since our mid-20s. We met at a bar downtown, both a little tipsy, and hit it off fast. It was the kind of relationship that felt easy, at least in the beginning. We got married 2 years after meeting. We bought a small house with a chipped porch and old floors that we swore we'd fix up, but never really did. We adopted 2 rescue dogs. We fought sometimes, but I thought we were good. Normal. I worked crazy shifts at the hospital. Jason worked in tech, customer service mostly, but he made it sound fancier than it was. He hated his boss. He hated his commute. He hated how fake everything online was getting. Around the end of last year, Jason started acting weird. It started small. He'd come home more tired than usual. He'd snap at me for stupid things. I asked if something was wrong, and he said he was overwhelmed. He kept saying the world was too much right now, that seeing everybody's perfect lives online was messing with his head. One night after dinner, he made this big production about deleting all his social media. He said, "I want to focus on real life. I want to be present for you. For us." He even let me watch him delete the Instagram and Facebook apps from his phone. I felt proud of him. I thought it was a good thing. I bragged about it to my friends. Jason's really taking care of his mental health, I said. He's setting boundaries. God, I was so stupid. In March, Jason told me his office was doing a team-building trip to Miami. He showed me an email. It looked real enough, company logo at the top, names I recognized from his office. He said it was a mix of work and relaxation, that they wanted people to bond better. I thought it sounded a little weird, but Jason wasn't the type to lie. Or at least, I didn't think he was. He left on a Thursday afternoon. I dropped him off at the airport, kissed him goodbye, and even told him to have fun. I told myself that I was lucky to have a man like him. Someone trustworthy. Someone who loved me enough to quit social media just to be healthier for our relationship. The joke was on me. Saturday night, I was sitting on my couch, eating leftover Chinese food, when my phone buzzed. It was my best friend Maggie. She sent me a TikTok with no warning, just the words, "Is this Jason?" I opened it. I will never, ever forget that moment. It was filmed in a dark, sweaty club somewhere tropical. There were neon lights flashing, music blasting. And there he was. Jason, my husband. Shirtless. Drunk. Grinding on a girl who looked suspiciously like Haley, a woman he worked with and used to complain about all the time. The caption on the TikTok said, "Girls trip," but he insisted on joining smiling face with hard eyes. I sat there frozen, holding my phone like it might catch fire. I watched it again. And again. And again. His dumb smile. His hands on her hips. The way she laughed and leaned back into him like it was the most natural thing in the world. My heart shattered into 1,000 sharp pieces. I didn't even cry. Not right away. I made a burner TikTok account that night. No photo, no followers. I found the girl who posted the video. Then I found Haley's account too. She wasn't even trying to hide it. Her whole feed was filled with posts from the trip. Videos of them drinking on boats, feeding each other food, lounging together by the pool. There was one where Jason kissed her neck while she giggled and turned the camera toward them. Thousands of likes. Hundreds of comments saying things like, "You guys are so cute. OMG couples goals." Meanwhile, I was sitting in our empty living room, our dog sleeping at my feet, trying not to throw up. I realized something else, too. Jason wasn't off social media. He had just blocked me. He made a whole secret account to keep living his real life without me seeing any of it. He lied to my face every day. All the times I thought he was reading articles or checking the weather or playing games. Nope. He was liking thirst traps, posting gym selfies, flirting in comments, living a whole other life online. I wasn't his partner anymore. I was just the woman who paid the mortgage while he played dress-up bachelor. I didn't scream. I didn't send him a rage text. I didn't call him crying. I got quiet. Because quiet is where real revenge grows. I called a divorce lawyer the next morning. I asked for the fastest, nastiest papers we could put together. I wanted it to hit him like a brick to the face. I had the papers printed, signed, notarized, and ready before he even boarded his plane back to North Carolina. Then I bought the cheapest bouquet of sad little grocery store flowers I could find. Yellow carnations. Not even roses. Because I had a plan. I was going to meet him at the airport. I got there early. I parked. I stood there holding the flowers, watching people reunite with their families, couples hugging, parents crying. It made me sick. Finally, I saw him. He looked so tired. Like he hadn't slept. Like maybe partying with his work mistress had taken a toll. He smiled when he saw me. I smiled back. He walked up, opened his arms for a hug. And I handed him the flowers with one hand and the divorce papers with the other. At first, he just stood there, confused. Then he looked down at the papers. I saw the exact moment he realized what they were. His face fell apart. He looked up at me, mouth opening and closing like a fish. What is this?" he stammered. I smiled wider. A real, teeth-baring smile that probably looked terrifying. "You went viral," I said. Because Jason didn't just go quietly. He tried everything to fix it. And when that didn't work, he tried to ruin me too. You're going to want to hear how it all played out. After I handed him the papers at the airport, Jason didn't say anything for a second. Just stood there like a deer in headlights. Then he started laughing. "I don't understand," he said, voice all shaky. "This is crazy. You're blowing this out of proportion." Out of proportion? I stared at him like he was a stranger. "You embarrass me in front of thousands of people," I said. "You lied every day for months. This is proportionate." He reached for my arm. I stepped back. That's when he started pleading. Right there in baggage claim. In front of strangers. "Please, babe. Please." It was nothing. It didn't mean anything. I was drunk. It was just dancing. "Please don't do this." People were staring. A security guard was watching us from near the doors. I didn't care. I turned on my heel and walked away. Left him standing there with the flowers, the papers, and nobody to blame but himself. But Jason didn't leave it alone. Over the next few days, he went crazy. He showed up at the house 3 times. Pounding on the door. Begging to talk. Leaving pathetic little notes in the mailbox like we were teenagers. I didn't answer. I moved all his stuff into the garage and changed the locks. When he realized he couldn't sweet-talk his way back, he switched tactics. Suddenly, he was angry. He started texting me nonstop. "You're ruining my life. You're overreacting. Think about the dogs. Do you really want to be alone forever?" Then it got worse. He posted a long, fake sob story on his secret Instagram, the one he blocked me from but forgot Maggie could still see. He said I was emotionally abusive, controlling, unsupportive. He tried to make himself the victim. He said I forced him to cheat by not paying enough attention to him. Imagine that. He partied shirtless in Miami, and somehow I was the villain. I screenshotted everything. Every fake post. Every nasty text. I sent them straight to my lawyer. We added a restraining order request to the divorce filing. Because if Jason thought he could destroy me online, he was about to find out that I could destroy him legally. And just when I thought it couldn't get messier, I got a call from one of Jason's coworkers. Let's call him Chris. Chris wasn't a close friend, but we'd met a few times at office parties. He sounded nervous on the phone. "Listen," he said. "I wasn't gonna get involved. But you should know. Haley's pregnant." Pregnant. I almost dropped the phone. Chris kept talking, spilling everything. Jason and Haley had been sleeping together for months. This wasn't the first work trip they had faked. Haley had told people she thought Jason was going to leave me and make it official. Some people at work knew. They just didn't want to get involved. I thanked Chris for telling me. Hung up. Sat on the floor with my back against the kitchen cabinets. Pregnant. I wasn't just divorcing a cheater. I was divorcing a man who might be about to have a whole other family. After I found out Haley was pregnant, I went numb for a few days. I still got up, went to work, fed the dogs, but inside, I wasn't there. Jason kept trying to contact me, calling from different numbers, demanding me from fake accounts. I ignored every single one. He knew. He knew the news about Haley was going to blow up, and he was scrambling to get ahead of it. The next twist? His job found out. Chris, the coworker who called me, wasn't the only one who knew about the affair. Turns out, Haley's girls' trip TikToks got passed around the office. And in case you didn't know, Jason and Haley's company had a strict no-dating policy, especially no dating within the same department. Apparently, Jason had even signed a damn paper about it when he got hired. By Tuesday morning, Jason was asked to resign. No severance. No references. No goodbyes. Just a box of his crap dumped in his car by security. But it didn't stop there. I wasn't even planning to humiliate him further. But he did it to himself. Jason had gotten so sloppy, he left his secret Instagram public for about 24 hours after the firing. And during that time, Maggie grabbed everything. All his gym thirst traps, all his nasty DMs to random girls, all his shady posts bragging about living his best life while I held him back. She sent them to me in a file called Receipts. Zip. And without planning it, without even thinking that hard, I sent them to Jason's mom. Now, let me explain something about Jason's mom. She is old school Southern. Big on manners. Big on appearances. Church every Sunday. Believed her son was an angel on earth. When I sent her the screenshots, I didn't say anything. Just attached them to an email with the subject line, "Thought you should know what your son's been up to." Less than 10 minutes later, she called me. She was sobbing. Sobbing. I had no idea, she kept saying. "I raised him better than this. I'm so sorry. I'm so ashamed." Meanwhile, Jason was losing it. He showed up again at the house. I was ready. I called the police the second his car touched the curb. They showed up so fast he didn't even have time to get out. I watched from the window as he got a nice little warning ticket taped to his windshield. One more visit, they said, and he'd be arrested for violating the no-contact order. He peeled out of the driveway like a spoiled child. But here's the real kicker. Haley wasn't pregnant with Jason's baby. She was sleeping with another guy from the same office, some mid-level manager. Jason was just the idiot who believed her. I found that out 2 weeks later when Chris sent me a screenshot of Haley's new post, a cozy baby announcement, tagging a guy who wasn't Jason. It wasn't even close. Different race, different height, different everything. Jason threw his whole life away for a girl who played him harder than he played me. Poetic, really. At this point, you'd think he would have gotten the message. But Jason wasn't done yet. He decided to try one last disgusting move. He tried to sue me for emotional distress. Said I embarrassed him publicly and cost him his job. He actually filed the paperwork. Served to me at work. I remember opening the manila envelope and laughing so hard I had to sit down on the floor. My coworkers thought I was having a breakdown. No, just reading the funniest thing I'd seen in years. You think that's where it ends? Nope. Jason didn't just fail. He got hit back harder than he ever expected. Because my lawyer? She wasn't playing games either. So Jason thought he could sue me for emotional distress. Thought he could scare me into backing down. Thought he could make me the villain in the story he created. He had no idea what was coming. My lawyer, a woman named Amanda, read through his lawsuit papers and almost rolled her eyes out of her head. "It's weak," she said. "He doesn't have a case. He's bluffing." But Amanda didn't just want to win. She wanted to make an example out of him. We filed a countersuit for harassment, defamation, violation of privacy, and we had all the proof. Screenshots of his fake sob stories about me, screenshots of his DMs where he bragged about lying, the TikTok videos, the burner account messages, the police reports, the restraining order, warning it wasn't even a fair fight. It was like bringing a machine gun to a slap fight. Jason's mistake? He underestimated how much I was willing to burn it all down. Because I had nothing left to lose anymore. The marriage was dead. My pride was already broken. My future had already been rewritten. He took everything good I thought we had, and he laughed while doing it. So I stopped trying to be the bigger person. When the court date came, Jason showed up looking rough. He'd lost weight. He had bags under his eyes. His hair was a mess. He wore a cheap suit that didn't fit. Meanwhile, I walked in clean, calm, smiling. Amanda tore into him, laid out every single thing he did, one by one, like a slow funeral march. The judge barely let Jason speak. After 2 hours, Jason dropped his lawsuit before it could even finish. The judge granted my countersuit. Jason was ordered to pay $25,000 in damages, plus my legal fees. Money he didn't have anymore. He had to sell his car to even start paying me. His credit got wrecked. His reputation was gone. His parents? They stopped speaking to him. His coworkers? Wouldn't even look at him. Haley? Blocked him after the baby reveal. Jason ended up alone, broke, unemployed, and absolutely humiliated. As for me, I'm not going to lie and say I came out perfect either. The stress broke me for a while. I started drinking too much. I pushed people away, even Maggie, who had helped me so much. I let myself fall into a hole of anger and bitterness that took months to crawl out of. I made mistakes too. I let Jason treat me like a second choice for way too long. I ignored little red flags because I didn't want to admit they were there. I trusted when I should have questioned. That's on me. But the difference between me and Jason? I owned my part. I didn't blame anyone else. I didn't throw tantrums. I didn't try to burn down people's lives to cover my mess. I faced it, and I started over. Now, I have a new apartment. I went back to therapy. I started dating again. Slow, careful, cautious. I'm rebuilding my life piece by piece. It's not perfect. It's not easy, but it's mine. No more lies. No more half-truths. No more looking the other way. Sometimes I still think about Jason. Where he is. How he's living. If he ever realized what he threw away. But honestly, I don't care anymore. He went viral for being a lying, cheating, selfish man-child. And I went viral in my own way too, for getting out before he could ruin the rest of my life.